Hello, this is a video on factor method or factorization by a quadratic polynomial. Quadratic means a power 2 on the equation. Linear is a power 1, like that. So once you have x squared, that's quadratic. You'll know more next year when you're in Form 4. So cross method goes like this. You need to figure out the factors for the left one and the most right one, and you will separate them into two factors. So 3, only combination for 3 is 3 and 1, or 1 and 3. Yeah? Or negative 3 and negative 1. Both negative becomes positive at the end when multiplied. 8 can be 4 and 2 and 8 and 1, right? So I think we practiced well enough in class. So once you get the factor, you need to figure out the combination. So I will go through the combination, maybe here. So in this video, it's just gonna focus on never mind, maybe I'll go through all the cases. So the most simple one is here, where x doesn't have a coefficient next to it. So what we're gonna do is x, there is only one combination for x. We always make the first one positive, both positive, and then we're gonna change the right one, either positive or negative, right? 10 can be changed to 10 and 1, like two factors, 10 times 1, or 5 times 2. So we're gonna think about it. You're gonna play with the numbers, basically. So if I put 5 and 2 here, or maybe let's put the wrong ones, 10 and 1. If I put 10 and 1 here, what's happening is the cross basically means you're gonna multiply them. 1 times x is x, 10 times x is 10x. So x plus 10x is gonna give you 11x. And now you're gonna compare with the middle term if you get it correct or not, the right combination. If it's not matching, this is the wrong combination and you have to try a different combination. The next combination I would try is 5 and 2. So 5 and 2 is gonna be 5x plus 2x. 5 plus 2 is 7, 7x. And when you compare 7x with the middle term, you get the right one. Hooray! So once you have the right one, you have to make two brackets. The first bracket is over here, the first row basically. So this is equals to x plus 5, and the second row is here. So I think it's better to put plus here so that you don't forget, x plus 2. And this is the right combination. So basically what's happening here is you're changing into brackets, and when you do rainbow method, it will turn back to the question. So we're basically doing the opposite of rainbow method. This is the final boss of factorization, and the hardest one actually. Let's do another simple question like this one here. Now over here, again, if it's x squared, simply just write xx, x times x. And then we will just play with the plus, positive or negative at the last, the second number. 15 can be 15 times 1, or 5 times 3. I don't think there's any more combination, right? Now if we do 15 times 1, 15, 1, let's say, positive 15 and positive 1, you will end up with 15x plus x, which is 16x, positive, but this is negative. So something is telling you here. If it's negative, you have to predict, right? So what if I put negative 15? Negative 15, negative 1. What is it gonna become? It's gonna be negative 15x minus x. And you end up with negative 16x. And negative 16x is too large for negative 8x, right? So maybe we're using the wrong numbers here. So we're gonna try the different combination, 5 and 3. Now, if you're smart enough, you're gonna predict that it's not gonna be positive, it's gonna be negative. So why these can be negative is because negative times negative is gonna be positive. Negative 5 times negative 3 is gonna be positive 15. So that's why it's gonna work out. Negative 5x minus 3x is gonna give you negative 8x. So again, hooray, we got the right combination. Negative 8x is the one we want. So you just copy it down, x minus 5 for the first row, and this is the second bracket, x minus 3. And that's how you get the factor method. Okay, I'll try a different question. So now we have a negative 12 here instead of positive 12. This one is still x times x, so simply just write xx. It's actually easier for us because we don't really have to consider this anymore. It's just simply xx. So it's simpler than the most difficult question, I would say. Now, 12 can be 4 times 3 or 12 times 1, right? Now you can predict that this is negative, so we're gonna be placing negatives somewhere. Now the problem is, since this is negative, we either have to have positive and negative or negative and positive, because negative times positive will be negative. Negative times positive is going to be negative. If you do positive or if you do negative times negative, it will turn back to positive, and this is wrong. We want a negative for 12. So basically, if I do positive 4, this one has to be negative 3, because positive 4 times negative 3 is going to be negative 12. So let's see if this is correct. We're going to have 4x minus 3x. That's going to give you 1x, which is just x. So it's really far away. So I'm going to try a bigger number, 12 times 1. Let me use that. If I do positive 12, negative 1, 12 minus 1 is 11, positive. But we want a negative. So what I'm going to do, if you have the right number but different sign, you basically just switch the sign here. Negative 12, positive 1. So we will have negative 12x plus x. Negative 12 plus 1 will be negative 11x. And then we have the same number. So the combination is x minus 12 and x plus 1. So that's how you do this. Now that's that. And then these are more difficult. Let's do a very difficult one. Wait, how many cases? Oh, there's letters on the right one. Now actually these letters is the same as the letter here. So you just basically just add a letter, an extra letter at the end. The numbers is the same procedure. You're just gonna add a y next to the numbers. So I'm not really gonna go through that. What I want to go through is probably this question. Yeah, this one. This one is really, really tough because there's a number here now and you have to consider all combinations. So this one can be 6 times 1, 2 times 3. And this can be 15 times 1 and 5 times 3, right? So there's so many combinations that you're gonna cry or spend too much time in one question. That's why your multiplication table has to be really good in order to do well in this chapter. Okay, what I'm gonna do is the left ones must be positive, okay? Just keep it as positive every time. You only adjust the negatives on the right side every time. Unless this one is negative, then you have to have a negative here. So if you have a positive, no, screen recording. Yes, and one line. Sorry. So if you, sorry, someone found me. Someone found me just now. If you want to have, anyways, it's mostly positive over here. So if you want to make your lives easier, always make this positive. And we're just gonna write the numbers. So I'm just gonna randomly write 6 and 1. For now. And then I will randomly write, so I predict it's gonna be negative, but since this is positive, both has to be negative, right? So this is for sure, it must be negative. Both of them must be negative. So if I write 15 here, and maybe 1 here, let's see what we get. We will have negative 15x, and negative 6 times 1 will be negative 6x. So end up is gonna be negative 15 minus 6 is negative 21x. Close, we're close, but it's not the same. So we can't go for this, erase this. 15 and 1 doesn't work. How about if I put 15 here though and 1 here, I think the number will be too large. You're gonna end up with negative 90, negative x. So it's too large, so maybe I use the wrong combination. How about 5 and 3? So 5 here, 3 here, let's see. Negative 5x, 6 times 3 is 18, so negative 18x equals to negative 5, negative 18 is negative 23. Oh, luckily for us, we didn't spend too much time. Negative 23x is what we want. So finally, the answer is 6x minus 5 and x minus 3. And that's how you do this question. So let's say the only difference for the last part is, let's say there's a y here, right? You're just gonna add a y over here and a y over here. Sorry, a y squared here. That's the only difference with the last part of the chapter. So I'm not gonna go through that. Save the time for this video. And good luck for your homework. Bye.